What a beautiful night in Raleigh, North Carolina. Sold out Carter Finley Stadium for Atlantic Coast Conference football. The NC State Wolfpack hosting the Hokies of Virginia Tech. And welcome back to the CW Pre-Kick Show, brought to you by Dick's. Every season starts at Dick's. Alongside the Boston College Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champ Will Blackman and Wes Bryant on the sideline. He'll be along in a minute. I'm Tom Brenneman. Great to have you with us. Now, look, NC State's already played an ACC game. This is a conference opener for Virginia Tech. Is there a difference getting going in the conference?
Yeah, for Virginia Tech, this is more like a clean slate for them, right? They had the firing of their coach, Pry, and then they finally got a good win last week against Watford. So for them, it's kind of a clean slate. Now they're getting into conference play, and hopefully they do some good things today.
All righty. If you haven't seen Hollywood Smothers, he is Hollywood all the way. There might be other guys that are talked about more than he does, but, man, he is an A-lister.
Yeah, the name fits because he's box office. He's one of the best running backs in the league right now. You see that 125 yards per carry. That is outstanding. He has great contact balance. He is going to get going today for this team to be successful.
Meanwhile, you mentioned it for Virginia Tech. I mean, it has been a rough start. They lose their first 3 games of the year, including humiliating fashion at home to Old Dominion, prompting the firing of head coach Brent Pry. They named their offensive coordinator Philip Montgomery as the interim head coach, and he starts with a win. You mentioned clean slate, and one thing he can count on is his quarterback, who is a good one when he's got it going, in Kyron Drones.
Yeah, he needs to get back just being more consistent. Last week, he did a good job of doing that. I look at last season where he only threw 6 interceptions. This year, he threw 3 already. So it's going to be important for him to have a really, really good day.
All right, we'll see how it goes here today in Raleigh. Thanks for watching the CW Pre-Kick Show, brought to you by Dick's. Every season starts at Dick's. Welcome to CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. All right, let's get right to it. Today's keys to the game brought to you by Sky Rizzi. Here's a big fella, former Wake star, Wesley Bryant.
What's going on, guys? Down here on the field, and we are ready to go. And the keys to the game for Virginia Tech, keep that same energy. They finally got their first win last week, so they got to do a lot of those same things if they want to win again. And at Wake Forest, we used to say TCB, take care of the ball. That's for NC State because they had 4 turnovers last week in the loss. Dave Doran said that was the major reason why they took the L. So this week they got a TCB, take care of the ball. Will, did y'all have anything that y'all said at Boston College like that?
Look, unfortunately, Wake and BC did not TCB today. We both lost, so that's
right. My 2 running mates, SEC greats. And both of their alma maters going down the loss. NC State won the toss, elected to defer into the second half. So here we go. And bringing out is P.J. Prelu, coming off an outstanding game last week. Prelu, the senior, and here is the transfer senior. Started his collegiate career at Baylor. Came to Virginia Tech in 2023, and he was sensational. 13 games, 11 starts, threw for over 2,000 yards, rushed for over 800. But then last year took a half step back, and in large part because of injury. So he's hoping to pick up where he left off in 23. And not a bad start, not a great start, but coming off one of the best games of his collegiate career. Marcellus Hawkins checks into the backfield. And we'll see some movement in that backfield. Hawkins gets the football and maybe picks up a yard, yard and a half. Today's Impact Players brought to you by Old Spice, Mr. Blackman.
You saw Marcellus Hawkins already come out the gate. He's a physical runner who just had a career-high rushing last week. And you got Donovan Green, who leads the team in receiving. On defense, Sean Brown, he is the heartbeat of the defense. And Sebastian Harshman, he's a disruptor on the edge.
Neither one of these defenses have been particularly good. And there is a chance, and of course, you know, no one has a crystal ball, that we could see a shootout here tonight. Pass completed up to the 25-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 to their very talented. In fact, we have 2 of the better tight ends in the country here tonight. That is Benji Gosnell.
Yeah, so you see this offense already they like to start off the game with some quick routes, right? Hitches and outs, and outs is one of Jones' favorite things to throw right there.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, flank to the left. And out of the shotgun, 5-man rush, and wide open catches made by Isaiah Spencer. And he is across the 40 all the way up to the 45. That will move the chains, a gain of 19.
You're going to see this a lot today. A lot of motion from the slot. He's going to have an option either to run an out or a hitch curling up inside. You see right there, as I mentioned earlier, they run the outs, which is a huge staple in this offense.
First down, and it's blown dead before it ever gets started.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty.
You know, we were talking about your alma maters and talking about Wes's alma mater, Wake Forest. Man, a tough pill for them to swallow today. They were on the short end of a very, very questionable call in the final minutes against Georgia Tech. Clearly an offsides penalty that was not flagged. It was an incompleted pass. Georgia Tech wound up getting the ball back, kicking a field goal to tie the game. And Georgia Tech won it by 1 in overtime when Wake scored a touchdown and went for 2 to try to win it. Broken up. Intended for Donovan Green, and that is Jamel Johnson.
Yeah, Jamel, he's an outstanding quarterback. He does such a great job just playing man-to-man. He has really quick feet. He did a good job breaking up that pass right there.
Johnson, a transfer from Temple. We saw Temple last week.
They could have used him.
Yeah, they could have. They could have. All right, second down at 15 after the penalty. And Drones rolling. Plenty of time. Throws a strike. Takai Heath on the reception. This is only his second game. He played in the first game of the year against South Carolina and has not played since. So they're glad to have him back, and they feel good about their skill position players here on Virginia Tech.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. We got a third down. We got a 3-by-1 formation. Usually they send somebody in motion here, but expect, again, some quick game trying to get this first down.
Third down at 8. Drones again. Now flushed out of the pocket. And incomplete, batted in the air. J.J. Johnson, I think, is the defender who got a hand on it.
Yeah, you see NC State getting some great pressure, not allowing him to step up and chuck the ball down the field, forcing him to throw an incomplete pass.
So NC State's defense, and calling the defensive plays under Coach Doran tonight, is Charlton Warren, who has called plays in the past as defensive coordinator at Indiana. And the reason being is because of the so sad and tragic news. And we send our sincere apologies and condolences to North Carolina State defensive coordinator DJ Elliott and his wife Mikkel on the passing of their 18-year-old daughter Drew. A cancer diagnosis. She lost her battle last night. Sisters Paige and Reese, brother Dawson, our prayers are with the Elliots. This NC State offense piled up 535 yards against Duke last week. 364 in the air, 171 on the ground, with 7 of 12 on third down, but turned it over 4 times. And look at that. right out of the gate. Nearly a turnover through the hands of Bailey and into the arms of Hollywood Smothers. Or did Bailey hang on to it himself?
It was a high snap.
It was Bailey.
Fortunately, he's about 6'6", going enough to get that football.
This Wolfpack offense averages 32 points per game. And they're going to hand it off to the headline act, Hollywood Smothers. Here are today's Impact Players, brought to you by Old Spice.
Yeah, you saw Hollywood Smothers right there getting the football. He's leading the ACC in rushing. Also, Troy Anderson, receiver. He's a breakout receiver who had 166 yards last week. And then Kelvin Gilliam, he's the Hokies' top pass rusher. And Michael Short, who is tackling machine. And Ben Bell, he's someone that NC State wanted as well.
Yeah, Ben Bell has played. This is his third stop. And they dump it off out of the backfield. And that is beautifully played defensively.
Yeah, this is important for Virginia Tech. They're going to have to tackle, because that's something that NC State does well. Breaking tackles all day long, so great job with a quick 3 and out.
It's Isaiah Cash, transfer grad student out of Sam Houston. He has been off to an excellent start this year, so a nice start for the Virginia Tech defense.
It's a great start. They took pretty much no time off the clock on that drive.
And now Newcastle punting out of his own end zone. Isaiah Spencer standing roughly at midfield. Should be excellent field position here for the Hokies. And Spencer with some running room. Escapes the first tackler, slips back to the inside and crosses a 40 down to the 39-yard line. So well done there. 47-yard punt, but an excellent return of 17 yards. Closed captioning for tonight's game brought to you by Tableau TV. Pay once, watch forever. Okay, starting to settle into this one now in Raleigh. Well, what a great crowd.
What a great venue. Everything here was easy, functional. Yeah, really cool for us.
I mean, it has been just an excellent program under Coach Dorn, now in his 13th season here at NC State. But Virginia Tech in their second game under Philip Montgomery, great field position. They spot it right at the 40. So first down for Kyron Drones. Slipping one tackle and still on his feet. Wow. How about that power running by Terrion Stewart, the transfer from Bowling Green. Boy, he had a couple of outstanding years with the Falcons.
Yes, he did. I was down the field and I watched him run around warming up. He is short and compact, so he's definitely really difficult to tackle. You saw a display of that right there.
He had over 400 rushing attempts at Bowling Green and rushed for over 2,400 yards. He didn't know that ball was coming to him. Drones hung on to it. I don't know if that was a forward pass. I guess they're saying it was a forward pass and incomplete. Okay.
Looked like a long shovel pass.
It sure did. Well, they're clearly not on the same page there. So second down and 10 for the Hokies. Set up the wide receiver screen, and that'll be a gain of close to 5. And again, it's Heath on the reception, so it'll bring up a third down. Virginia Tech has one of the best field goal kickers in the country in John Love, but they're not thinking about 3 points here. They're trying to extend this drive.
Yeah, you started off in the plus territory. That means you're on the plus side of the 50-yard line, and so it's going to be extremely important to try to come away with more than just 3 points. It should be a 4-down territory for the Virginia Tech offense.
Got Heath and Green down at the bottom of your screen. Receivers a pair at the top, and a slant, and broken up defensively. That is perfectly covered right there again by Jamel Johnson, a guy you like.
I'm telling you, his feet are outstanding. He does a heck of a job just staying tight to the receiver, playing through, getting the pass breakup without causing the pass interference. That's outstanding defense.
Okay, so this will be a 40-yard field goal try for John Love, 6 of 7 on the year. His 29th game as a Hokie, officially from 39 out. Good snap, good hold, and this is good. So Virginia Tech doesn't cash in for 6, but it's an early 3 spot for the Hokies. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. And by Game Time. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Game Time. Well, the conference's leading rusher coming into play tonight, Hollywood Smothers. His team went 3 and out. It's first go-round. Let's send it back to the guys in the studio. Yammer.
All right, Tom, we got a CW studio update. Will Blackman earmuffs right now. Your Eagles about to punch it in, down by 4 with under 20 seconds to go. That's not going to happen. Luke Ferrelli with the game-ending interception. Bears territory extending from California to Massachusetts.
Why in the world would Yammer do that to you, Will? I mean, why would he do that to you? I mean, we're not even 5 minutes, barely 7 minutes into the game.
We got taken down by both California teams, man. I don't know what's going on. All right, back to this game. Let's go.
Fair enough. C.J. Bailey. We'll see if they can get things rolling here. Smothers in the backfield, then goes out wide, and the pass is completed on first down. So they're far ahead of where they went on the last drive. That's Justin Jolie, very talented tight end, their leading receiver, 19 catches. And you see the numbers on C.J. Bailey in his second year as a starter. Tonight his 14th start. He's coming off 364 passing yards against Duke, but he threw 3 interceptions in the game and was sacked 3 times.
Yeah, the word that stands out to me with CJ is efficient, man. He tries to do a good job of just being efficient, not causing too many turnovers. He did a good job of that just throughout, but last week, as you mentioned, he struggled with that. It was funny. I was down on the field, and, you know, I like to see what the players are doing warming up. And I stood next to CJ, and listen, that man is, if I could say, he is a combination of Kevin Durant and Lamar Jackson, okay?
Right.
I mean, that guy looks like an NBA small forward. He is that tall, and he was just such in a great mood, having fun out there.
And he has just left the game. Now, in these short yardage situations, they love bringing in this kid. And, man, he is a man now. 5'11", 200 pounds. Redshirt sophomore, or a freshman, I beg your pardon. He goes 230. And that is Will Wilson. And this is pretty much a guaranteed run whenever he comes in the game, and that's exactly what it is, and he cashes in. They call him the package, the conversion man.
Listen, they don't even hide it. Let it be known. Look, when Will comes in, we are going to run the football straight to the middle. He's 4 for 4 on 4th downs, and right there converted that 3rd and 1.
He was Mr. Football in South Carolina. His father, Walter, is high school coach. All right, so first down for the Wolfpack. And the catch is made, spinning out of the tackle and still on his feet. Lunging forward is Jolie. And we'll see where they spot that. I believe they'll spot it at the 44.
Yeah, listen, Jolie, he's an NFL tight end. He's going to go there, and he's going to fit in any system. He's like a Jonnu Smith, but you see right there, he's showing his athleticism after the catch. He averages about 12 yards per catch throughout his career, so it shows you how dynamic he is.
Transfer from UConn tonight, his 18th game at NC State, and he has 63 receptions already. Second down and 2. And the catch is made, crossing midfield. That's the fella coming off a monster game last week, Terrell Anderson. A gain of 7. You heard Will tell you earlier, 6 catches for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 75-yarder against the Blue Devils last week.
We talked to Coach Roper, and you saw a little bit of under center already from C.J. Bailey, so he's going to display all kinds of different styles in this offense.
Hollywood Smothers, his best run of the afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. That'll be a gain of 11 for Hollywood Smothers.
Hollywood has one of the most explosive jump cuts I have ever seen on film. He'll jump cut from one hash and end up on the other hash of the field. And you saw right there how he got up the field very quickly.
Smothers started his collegiate career at Oklahoma and then transferred to NC State. He's rushed 3 consecutive games over 100 yards. And look how patient he is, and still turn that into a 3-yard gain. Now, Hollywood is not his real name. Am I right on that? In fact, he went to the same high school as you did, Wes Bryant.
That is Vance High School, that is now Julius Chambers High School, and he said he got the name Hollywood from his high school offensive line coach because he said in his first varsity game he went 3 carries and 2 touchdowns. So his coach started calling him Hollywood, and the name has stuck ever since.
How about that? Why did they change the name of your high school? Do you have any idea?
When a lot of the, when we had the Black Lives Matter movement and a lot of the civil injustice going on, they wanted to change the name from Zebulon Vance to Julius Chambers.
Okay, all right. J.D. Duke Scott checks into the game in the backfield, and they'll put it in his hands right away. He's a very good runner in his own right, and that is a first down inside the 25-yard line.
Yeah, the beauty of this offense is how quickly can I get the football into my better athletes on the perimeter. And so far, this whole drive, you saw getting the football to whoever's available on the outside.
That'll be a gain of 9 on the completion to Scott, his 4th reception early part of this year. He'll stay in there here on this first down. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Bailey under pressure. Throws. Did he catch it? I think Jolie went up and got it. What a reception by the tight end, Justin Jolie.
Look how he just goes up and gets this football contested and all. It's funny, we were in meetings with Coach Roper, and I was like, man, I haven't seen much of Jolie. He's such a dynamic play. He might be your best player on the outside.
How about that cut? And into the end zone, it is Scott. There is a penalty flag down on the field. So we will wait on this.
Illegal formation. More than 5 men in the backfield. Offense.
That's coming back.
5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That was a buzzkill on that drive.
How does that happen? How does that happen? Coach Dorn might be wondering the same.
Yeah, you need someone on the ball. So you have a couple of guys that are all off the ball, and you need one more to be on there. You need about 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. In this case, everyone is off the ball. So you got to declare. One of the receivers has to declare who's on.
11th play of this drive. 5 first downs. Thought they had a touchdown, did the Wolfpack. Scott remains in the game into the backfield. And he'll get the football. And he'll be stuffed at the 5-yard line. 2nd down and goal for the Wolfpack.
I asked both coaches which young guys on offense they were excited about, and they immediately said Duke. Like, Duke is the guy. Duke is very explosive. You saw the patience already that he displayed there. He's a freshman, but he already has like an NFL-type body, 5'10", 215.
Hollywood Smothers back in the game off the left hip of his quarterback. Now moves over to the other side. 2nd down and goal. And Bailey to throw it. Good protection, wide open. And that is a touchdown for NC State. Dante Daniels, rarely used tight end.
We just talked about everyone is available on offense, and Dante Daniels, someone who was not accounted for, wide open for the touchdown.
So now the point after. And it is good. Daniels, a redshirt senior out of Windsor, Ontario, Canada. The touchdown. And the Wolfpack in front, 7-3. the first reception of this season for the transfer from Butler Community College, Dante Daniels, is a touchdown. Prelo and Spencer way back. NC State a 7-0 lead with 2:38 to go here in the opening quarter from Raleigh, North Carolina. Yet another sellout here in this venue. They have sold out every game that they will play at Carter Finley Stadium this season. Start the season off right and get game day ready. Scan the QR code below to shop the team swag and game day essentials from the CW Football Saturday Shop. Brought to you by Dick's. Every season starts at Dick's.
It's a great first catch to have.
Sure is.
Touchdown.
Hit the lottery.
All right, this drive, I want to see Virginia Tech starting to push the ball down the field. One of the things that's not talked about enough about Jones is his strong arm. He has a very powerful arm throwing the ball down the field. So I'd like to see that on this drive for this offense.
They're going to throw it on first down. Aiden Green, and that'll be a gain of 3, maybe 4. Junior from Knoxville, Tennessee.
A good way to indicate a quarterback's arm strength, too, is he's very, very precise on the out routes. Like, he'll be on the far hash and throw it to the other side of the field, and it still has some velocity and accuracy. So right there, he has a good display of his arm strength.
Really the only poor game that Drones has played this year. Nearly intercepted there on that second down throw. In the season opener, he went just 15 of 35 against South Carolina through 2 interceptions. Since then, 3 games, over 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, and only 1 pick.
This is the third down. This is where NC State likes to bring some exotic blitzes here on third down. This is where they try to get creative and have some fun.
Need to get to the 35 to convert. And they rush 4. Drones, just miscommunication there. And 3 and out for the Hokies this go-round. Donovan Green wasn't within 15 yards of that pass.
Sure enough, you saw a lot of movement, a lot of guys, they call it sugar, right? They show inside the A gap or the B gap as if they're going to blitz. And some guys came out and some guys end up running and blitzing. Put a lot of pressure on him there. But it's things like that, like having miscommunication on a third down. That's going to be painful for this offense. And this is what's been going on with them.
Hoffman stands back at his own 30. Fair catch right at the 32. So a 40-yard boot. Next Saturday, the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs roll on into Charlotte. Tune in and watch the best young drivers take on one of the toughest road courses in the sport. NASCAR Xfinity Series playoff racing. Saturday, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, only on the CW. That has been enormously popular here on the CW.
Yeah,
Bailey, mighty good last drive.
Yeah, CJ, he's been, again, efficient. That's the #1 thing for him. Let me get rid of my turnovers. Let me just get the ball, get completions, be sharp. He's done a great job so far in this game.
Bailey's got a chance to be a really, really good quarterback. Here's Smothers, and he is able to slip through a couple of would-be tacklers and dives forward for nearly a gain of 5.
This is crazy. This is what I saw on tape. It is right here. He is just trapped, right? The offensive line does actually a good job just pretty much giving him a wall. He just finds a way to stay on balance and just find the seam and get upfield. I mean, he has some of the best 2-3 yard runs I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, that was an excellent carry right there. We'll call it a gain of 4, so 2nd down and 6. And Bailey to throw. Excellent protection. And the catch is made. And nearly turning that into a big one right there was Anderson. It's a 1st down.
Yeah, I mean, he just does an awesome job throwing it around the arm, trying to bat down the ball in the quick game. But going back to CJ, I talked to a couple of my friends who are scouts, you know, for the NFL, and they were like, look, at this rate, he could be a top 10 pick when he comes out. Yeah, like just what he's doing, how he's playing, he's just so comfortable out there playing football, man. It's really cool to see.
Went to Chaminade High School in Miami. He came here last year. He weighed 187 pounds. Catch made for a gain of 4 on first down by Hoffman. He has put on, well, he put on before camp started, he had put on 20 pounds.
Right.
Now he's trimmed some of that back to play a little bit lighter. But the point is, he's added a lot of muscle. And he's only a sophomore. He played as a true freshman, you may remember, last year. That will be the final play, more than likely, of this opening quarter. Virginia Tech kicking a field goal to start it. And after NC State went 3 and out its first drive, a touchdown drive. 9 for 9, Bailey in the game. 77 yards and a touchdown. 7-3, Wolfpack. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. Of course, the legendary Frank Beamer, going back to the days when Philip Montgomery was the head coach at Tulsa. Second game for Montgomery, taking over for Brent Pry, who went 16-24 and was let go a couple of weeks ago after that ugly loss to Old Dominion. Looking for the home run ball and batted away at the last second. Nicely done by Christian Ellis.
Christian Ellis does a great job running and then just playing the hands. Got a little arm on the shoulder pad, but there was no pull, but he does a good job just playing the hands, getting the ball batted down. You saw him, he waited until the receiver actually put his hands up and then just shot the hand straight through.
He was right there step for step with Noah Rogers. That's the first incompletion of the game for C.J. Bailey. He's going to throw it again, and why not? Now forced to scramble. It's not a burner, but he's a good runner. Now remember, in the college game, we bring this up all the time because people love pro football, they love college football. In the pro game, they don't count sacks against a quarterback's rushing total. They do in the college game. All right, fourth down. Is Wilson coming in there? No, they got Bailey in there.
They're keeping the base offense in there.
Normally, you mentioned earlier, Wilson is 4 and 4 on fourth down conversions, and he's already converted a third down in the game tonight. But they're going to stay with Bailey. Hand it off to Smothers, and I don't know. I'm not sure he got there. And it looks like Virginia Tech has stood tall defensively, rather than going with what has been a sure thing there. That is a real surprise. The decision made there by NC State. Caleb Spencer with a stop.
Yeah, watch Caleb Spencer just shoot the gap right there. The defense for Virginia Tech, they do a great job. Just play the percentages, right? Don't look at maybe they might run this, maybe they run a boot or a sprint out. Look, they're probably going to go to their best player. He's still in the game. Let's play the percentages and take our chance. And it worked out right there for that defense.
I'm just stunned that NC State did not bring in Wilson. I mean,
no,
why mess with what has been a sure thing?
I just said play the percentages right. He's perfect on fourth down. Why not?
All right, so now Kyron Drones. And a handoff. Look at that bulldozer. Well, I'm telling you what now, Terrion Stewart is a load. 5'9", 222-pounder. They play good football in the Mid-American Conference now, and he was among the very best in that conference.
Yeah, he's running with the purpose right now. You saw the up cam almost get knocked over.
That wouldn't be good for us. And here's Stewart again, and that'll be another gain of 11. Terrion Stewart. He only had 11 carries through the first 4 games this season. And he is chewing up the yards on this drive, and they're on hurry-up mode. They give it to him again. This will be a gain of 3. That's the old Barry Alvarez line, right? That's who Coach Doran got a chance to be a defensive coordinator at Wisconsin under Barry Alvarez. When they had Ron Dane in the backfield, they ran 18 18 straight plays where Ron Dane ran the ball 18 times in a row. And finally, somebody said, don't you think, Coach, we ought to change it up? Well, as soon as they stop it, we'll change it.
No question.
Right?
Smart football.
That's exactly right.
It's players, not plays.
Prelo had an excellent game last week. And they fake the carry. Drones hangs on to it himself, dives forward for a couple of yards. So to bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, this is a part of his game recently that's not talked about much, is him using his legs on the ground. He's way more than capable to do that.
Boy, is he ever. I mean, I would said 2 years ago he ran for over 800 yards.
Right.
This year, if you didn't include the sacks, again, this year he's run for 235 yards. But when you throw in the sacks, it only says 144 rushing yards. Blitz coming. Drones still on his feet, throws all the way across the field, and that is going to be a 1st down and more. How about that from Drones to Spencer?
What I tell you earlier, Tommy, that arm strength is so incredible. I watched a couple of his throws right here. I'm saying this reminds me of a throw from John Elway back in the day where he threw it completely across the field. That right there was outstanding, man. I'm putting on my highlight tape.
Yeah, that's mighty good. That's mighty good right there.
But you saw the zip. You saw the velocity. I thought the football would die off. Absolutely not. Hit him right in the chest on the other side of the field.
Yeah, a lot of times you see that ball short hop.
No question.
Yeah. Terrion Stewart back into the game. And he's in motion. And they're going to throw inside on a wide receiver screen, and that's a nice pickup. That'll be a gain of 6 to Donovan Green. It's a good drive here by Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I like that play. I like how they motion Stewart all the way to the outside just to get the defense thinking like he's been killing us on this drive. Maybe they're going to throw it to him, and they're going to throw it inside.
Well, we've got a injured player on the field. Johnny Garrett, the left tackle. Right there, 79. Got rolled up on. Oh, boy. And then lost his helmet, lost his mouthpiece. Boy, they are really high on him. They've had a lot of changes along that offensive line. Both these teams, in fact, have had numerous changes due to injury, players coming back from injury.
Yeah, that's tough. That's someone they're going to need. Up by my way, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Where I'm from. Yeah, good thing he's walking on his own power. That could have got worse. That could have looked real bad there. All right, now VTech is in the red zone. They need a touchdown here. Let's not go for 3. I love that they got points last time, but this is vital to get points on the board. Not just 3, but get 6.
All right, 2nd down, and Stewart, Drone's going to keep it himself, and he bulldozes his way close to the 10-yard line. That appears to be enough for a 1st down, and it is. Question is it 1st and goal, or is it outside the 10? Seems to be just a fraction outside, so they can't. No, they've thrown down the sticks. So I guess the nose of the ball is on the 10, so it's 1st and goal.
But this is what they need. They need the real dual threat of Drones here. You saw him right there, how dynamic he was running the football. This is what he does well at.
See, this season, 10 touchdowns and 18. That's not good. That is an excellent tackle made right there by Caden Ford.
Caden, nicknamed Biscuit.
Yes, indeed.
Came there again.
Grandma's biscuit. Used to pour cane syrup on those bad boys. That sounds, I don't know about that, but it sounds pretty good. Of course, his dad, great player at Florida State, offensive lineman, played in the NFL for 10 years. He had 11 tackles in that game against Duke last week. 2nd down and goal from the 11. 4-man rush. Drones to the end zone and through the fingertips of Donovan Green. That was an open receiver, a little bit better throw, and that's 6.
Yeah, Drone, he didn't have his feet set, but still the football was enough to get there. Donovan usually brings that one in. He knows it too. He's like, that was a touchdown for sure.
10th play of this drive, but it is 3rd down and goal from the 11-yard line. And a timeout called by Virginia Tech. They want to make sure they're on the same page before this 3rd down. All right, so we'll take a timeout with them. Virginia Tech trying to get closer here in the early minutes of the 2nd quarter. Our Royal Caribbean game summary, an early field goal for Virginia Tech made it a 3-0 game. And then a nice long drive put together by the Wolfpack, capping it off with a touchdown to Daniels. All right, 3rd down and goal from the 11. What are you thinking? Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for Donovan Green. I'm going to go back to him. I know he's feeling it. He's motivated. I'm going to find a way to move my quarterback drones and get back to Donovan Green.
It's Gosnell, the tight end, in motion. They're bringing the house, and he gets it away. This is going to be a touchdown. So NC State gambles by blitzing, and they dump it off to Marcellus Hawkins out of the backfield, and that is a Virginia Tech touchdown.
Yeah, on 3rd down, this is what NC State does. They bring the pressure. Doesn't matter where they are on the field. And Virginia Tech does a good job capitalizing.
Well, that is the gamble. You know, if you can get there, it's great. But if you don't get there and the quarterback can find the open receiver, there's a good chance. Yeah, there's a good chance. There's a crooked number going up. Point after by Love is good. So this has been a good game. First touchdown of the night for the Hokies. Out of the backfield, Hawkins in a 3-point lead. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Well, they've had some outstanding quarterbacks through the years here. Certainly Phillip Rivers will be a Hall of Famer one day. The great Russell Wilson. And I know for some of the younger crowd out there, the great Roman Gabriel, the pride of Wilmington, North Carolina, grew up with asthma. He was a 2-time All-American, 2-time ACC Player of the Year, was his 2nd pick in the NFL draft, 4-time Pro Bowler, a league MVP. And this young man right here, he's only a sophomore. He was forced into action. We were here last year when he took over and has been the starter ever since. Tonight is his 14th career game. 4 times has thrown for 300 yards or better. Twice already this year. And has hit on 67% of his passes so far. And being that young, that is so impressive. Well, now he's stepping around, looking for somebody, anybody, or nobody. Finally run down. He might need the oxygen mask.
Yeah, you like him just to throw that one away, but he's always looking to throw. He's always looking to throw when he's dropping back.
Your guy, Lonergan. Well, look at those completion percentages. It's just amazing, isn't it? How about Virginia last night?
That was a fun game. I'm not going to lie. That was exciting.
Man.
I never seen fans rush the field so fast in my life.
It was unbelievable. Smothers nowhere to go. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long. This Virginia Tech defense is really stiffened up. But, you know, it's interesting. Clemson has had their troubles. Georgia Tech still undefeated. Got a break today, but give them credit. They won the game to go to 5-0. But Florida State ranked in the top 10 and shocked last night in Charlottesville. Tell you what, they're off to a nice start.
They're doing well, yeah. Coach Tony Elliott, he's doing such an incredible job over there, man. He's also a first star type of person.
Oh, no doubt about it. He's off to a 4-1 start. Wide open on 3rd and forever. And the catch is made by Wesley Grimes. How does a guy on 3rd down and long get that wide open, Will Blackman?
I'll I'll tell you how he gets wide open. First of all, this offensive line is doing a great job protecting C.J. Bailey. He just scans through the entire offense, and usually in this offense, you have somebody leaking across on a shallow cross, and he always finds that person. And this time, Wesley Grimes was that guy.
Smothers gets the ball, and that'll be a pickup of 4. So 2nd down and 6. NC State on the move. 7:40 to play until halftime, and Virginia Tech with a 3-point lead.
But as a coordinator, I'm thinking, how is he that wide open?
Yeah.
Like you had plenty of time to realize, you know what? I think I forgot to cover somebody.
Scott Siefkas is the first-year defensive coordinator. Wisconsin native, only 34 years old. And look at Bailey, escape trouble, stay on his feet. He's run out of bounds, maybe picked up a yard, or I beg your pardon, lost 3 yards there. Run out of bounds by Jason Abbey.
It's hard to bring down a guy who's 6'6", 215, 220. Again, escaping to throw. That's what he's trying to do here.
All right, so another 3rd down and long. This is 3rd down and 8. Here comes the blitz off the corner, and Bailey is in trouble. He spins away and then just throws it away. He was under heavy pressure right there. Isaiah Cash coming off the corner. Native of Austin, Texas, and a transfer from Sam Houston, his first year at Virginia Tech.
You can see the refs discussing if he was outside the tackle box for that throwaway.
Intentional grounding, offense number 11. It's a spot foul. It includes a loss of down. 4th down.
Yeah, if he gets out around here, and he doesn't. That line I drew, that's where the tackle was. You got to roll outside the tackle box to throw the ball away for it not to be intentional grounding, and CJ did not do that on that play.
And Coach Doran really not putting up much of an argument about that. This improves significantly, has a chance to improve significantly, depending on the punt by Noonkester. The field position for Virginia Tech. Great punt, my goodness. And beautifully done. Downed inside the 10-yard line. That's getting it done by Caden Noonkester.
Oh, coming up at the half, we got the halftime show, and it's presented by Subaru. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Michael Bumpus will join me in studio. We'll get his thoughts on a very physical first half, and we got a lot of close calls and top 25 action. We'll take you around the nation. It's coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, Yammer, thank you very much. It's a hard place to win in the Atlantic Coast Conference, or for that matter, anytime here at Carter Finley Stadium. NC State 45-12. over the last 8 years in this venue, and they've been especially good since 2020. They're 30-7. Another sellout crowd here tonight. 30-7. That's pretty good.
That's really good.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't realize. Injured player down on the field. Not good. Never like seeing anybody. That's Brody Barnhart. Hopefully, he's all right. But, you know, I was starting to say, a lot of people don't realize NC State has won the second most games among all ACC teams, you know, just over the past 6 seasons. They have the second most overall wins, the second most conference wins. These guys put together a nice program here.
Yeah, even with prior teams with Chuck Amato was here, they were extremely competitive just playing against them myself. It was a very physical team that had to deal with.
It appears as though they're looking at his left foot or his left ankle. I want to remind you, coming up next week, CW Sports Saturday packed with a full day of action. First an ACC battle in Blacksburg, Virginia. One of my most favorite places in America. Love that area. Wake Forest coming to town. Then buckle up, NASCAR Xfinity Series speeds into Charlotte. The PBR Camping World Team Series rides into Kansas City, the PBR. So CW Sports Saturday, full day of it, beginning at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific, only on the CW. And the big fella, Wes Bryant, going to see his alma mater. As Bryant, he's clearly in a lot of pain, that left foot or that left ankle.
Yeah, just glad to see that he's up, even though he can't put much pressure on it. It's always a good sign to see him up.
Worst starting field position of the game for the Hokies. Terrion Stewart. They fake it to him. They throw it. And the catch is made by Aiden Green on first down. Gain of 5.
So third down again. NC State, as they've shown before, they like to bring either exotic pressures or sim pressures where it looks like they're going to bring multiple guys. They end up bringing 4. So let's see what look they give him here on third down.
Against Stewart in the backfield. They brought the house on the last throw, you may remember, down near the goal line that turned into a touchdown. Drone's going to keep it himself, trying to get to that corner, and he will get there. He's a big, strong, athletic young man, and that is a first down to the 24-yard line. He goes 235 pounds, does Kyron Drone.
Yeah, he's a physical presence, and they do an awesome job there fooling the Mike backer on the blitz, keeping it himself, getting on the perimeter. He did a great job blocking on the edge there from the tight end.
It's a gain of 9. Under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. From Raleigh, North Carolina, Will Blackman, Wes Bryant, Tom Brenneman, our entire CW Sports crew, and great to be with you. Drones on a slant. He had an open receiver, and again it was Green. He just sailed the football.
But this is the situation that Virginia Tech wants to be in. They're in the lead, and currently they are controlling not just on the air, but on the ground too. And they're using the quarterback run game, which is very important for this team to do.
All right, so second down and 10. 131 yards of offense, 73 through the air, 58 on the ground for the Hokies. Good protection this time, and a strike down the middle of the field, close to midfield to Donovan Green. Oh, I beg your pardon, that was Cameron Seldon.
Yeah, just a beautiful pass right over the linebacker's head into Cameron's arms.
What a story Seldon is. I mean, he was a Virginia High School Player of the Year 2 years ago as a running back. He went to Tennessee and last year ran for nearly 500 yards. And they turned him into a wide receiver here. And that is his 12th catch of the year, his first tonight. And then a straight up drop.
Yeah, with Seldon, with his body being 6'1", a little above 210, he presents a physical presence on the outside or in the slot.
Snook Peterkin dropping that one. And those are some of the numbers we were talking about. Got the big pass play a moment ago to tack on yards in that passing category. Throw down the field. And are they calling that a catch? They are calling that a reception by Aiden Green. Boy, how about Kyron Drones on the run? And the arm strength to make this dart for 37. Look at that.
Yeah, that was an incredible throw, but this crowd knows football, and they definitely saw a hold in there on the edge. That's why I'm over here laughing, because they lost their mind.
Yeah, they did.
On that play.
You could hear them yelling and screaming.
The previous play of the completed catch is under review.
Well, they're checking. They're not. You can't go back and look to see if
they're looking at the catch for sure.
Yeah. They're looking to see if he got the foot down before the knee came down out of bounds. And obviously, did he have control of the football? You be the judge. Hard to tell there with that member of the staff. This is a better look.
Boom. Stop it. Stop right there. Yeah, that's a catch to me. Got 2 feet down.
And he appears to have full control of the ball. Yep.
As you mentioned, what a throw.
Man,
like,
what
that
a
was
throw.
Crazy. That's what I'm saying. You really watch tape. He has one of the strongest arms. He has one of the strongest arms in the whole entire league. I'm telling you.
I mean, and you can understand Coach Doran, really upset. How did you miss that call? There are a lot of guys around the ACC asking that same question today. You weren't with us earlier. Boy, that play today, Wake Forest, Georgia Tech. You talk about a head scratcher. Mercy. I mean, Wake Forest should have won that game today, and it would have been the first loss of the year for Georgia Tech, but it wasn't. An overtime win for the Ramblin' Wreck.
Wolfpack needs to stand up here. They're in the high red zone. Key points off the board.
Stewart dropped it. I'm not sure he was going anywhere anyhow. Standing right next to him was Ronnie Royal III.
Yeah, but so far we already seen several drops in this first half from his receivers. Yeah, 3 to be exact. 3 drops.
And there's Charlton Warren, former defensive coordinator at Indiana under Tom Allen. He is calling the plays tonight, as we brought up earlier, the very, very sad news. NC State's defensive coordinator DJ Elliott and his wife Mikkel losing their 18-year-old daughter Drew to cancer. Man, you know, when you say something like that, for those of you that are parents out there, if that just doesn't, you don't even have to be a parent, but I think parents understand even more that can't imagine the devastation and the heartbreak. Our prayers are with them.
All right, here we are on 3rd down. Last time NC State brought pressure. I would show pressure and drop out and play spot coverage. You got cooked last time when you brought the blitz.
They do not bring it this time. 4-man rush. Drones being chased. Turns the corner. And is run out of bounds. He might have picked up 2. So it brings up 4th down. They'll spot it at the 15, and out comes the field goal unit. As the clock is running, 2:55. They'll take all the time they can. The full 25 left on the play clock.
That was an extremely impressive drive by Drones there. With his legs, with his arm.
But remember, it started at the 8-yard line.
From that incredible punt.
Yep. This will be a 32-yard field goal try for one of the very best in the country, John Love. Good snap, good hold. Man, that guy's money. I mean, he is money. So a 13-7 Hokies lead. The fastest growing cable network in all of television is News Nation. Respecting all Americans, and is news for all Americans. To find News Nation, go to newsnationnow.com. Okay, Will Blackman, you're standing on the sidelines as you were under Bill O'Brien last year after more than a decade playing in the National Football League. You got 2:26. NC State has all timeouts, all 3 left. And you love your quarterback. You love your skill guys. So plenty of time to get down the field and try and take the lead here before halftime.
Yeah, NC State in a 2-minute situation, they're not afraid to push the ball down the field. Usually you'll see guys take a profit, throw hitches, outs, little short routes, quick games. But this offense, they like to push the ball down the field in 2 minutes. So that's what I expect. Try to get a touchdown.
Blasted out of the back of the end zone by Kyle Lowe. John Love does not do the kickoff duties. So here we go with C.J. Bailey. And there you see the numbers. Only 1 incompleted pass, 10 of 11, 104 yards. He has made connections with 7 different players.
Yeah, he spread the football all around. He's just, whoever's open, I'm finding him. I'm getting the football, taking a profit.
The only long ball he's thrown in this game, really long ball, was to Noah Rogers on a play that was broken up inside the 10-yard line. Nice catch right there. Look at Hollywood Smother. I mean, all of that for maybe a yard.
But it was still nice.
It was exciting, though. It was the most exciting yard I've ever seen. So this will take us to the 2-minute timeout. Love has hit a couple of them tonight. And right now, those are the difference in this game. Stay tuned for the final 2 minutes of the half, presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Final 2 minutes of the half, and it's time for the 2-minute drill presented by the Active Cash Credit Card from Wells Fargo. Be a 2%er. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Okay, 2nd down and 9. Virginia Tech on the road, a 13-7 lead. Lead the tight end in motion. And down goes Bailey. He is slammed to the deck. Elash Fall there to get him.
That's a big pass rush. That's how you get in there. You beat your one-on-one. Get out the way. Excuse me. That's a great sack right there. You're in my way, buddy.
Man, I thought Wes was big. That dude's big. And Bailey limping. Limping or shrugging. I'm not sure. He's, now he's reaching, it looks like, for his left collarbone, left shoulder. He is a right-handed thrower. That would not be good. He's going to stay in the game. And I'll tell you what, now all of a sudden, if you're Virginia Tech, you're thinking about, you spend a timeout, you get a stop here on 3rd down and 18, there's probably a real good chance of that. And you got time.
Yeah, you got time to get right back on the board.
Tell you what, Virginia Tech's defense has been exceptional in this game. 4th sack already. Has only allowed a total of 6 rushing yards in this game. A little delayed handoff and a nice pickup, but nowhere near 1st down yardage. But it does swing the field position potential anyway. Timeout, Virginia Tech. So that's the Hokies' final timeout of the half. And again, reaching underneath that jersey up around the collarbone to the shoulder is Bailey.
Yeah, he got slammed pretty good right there by Fall. You just wonder if that's his left shoulder, then, Yeah, he just snatches him right there.
And maybe he landed funny on it, you never know.
Yeah.
This looks like an entirely different Virginia Tech football team than played the first 3 games of this year.
Yeah, they for sure came in motivated. It was vital that they got that win last week just to move forward in the right direction for this organization.
Brent Pry, their head coach, was let go. High punt. And a fair catch. Not bad field position at the 31-yard line with plenty of time on the clock for drones. The newest show in the iconic TV series Law & Order Toronto, Criminal Intent, is now on the CW. Same folks that brought you the original series. This time in a new city. Law & Order Toronto, Criminal Intent, Wednesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, here on the CW.
I need a new basic cable television show.
Yeah.
I need something.
Do you?
I watched All American. I did watch that on the CW.
There you go.
Yeah. Big fan of
that. You and your wife dialed in on that?
just me.
Just you. Right. Yeah, that's right. You got kids around you. You're an afterthought. You're way down the track. All right, plenty of time for Drones. He's going to try to work the sideline. Boy, that's a dangerous pass right there. How many times have we called that young man's name tonight? Jamel Johnson.
I'm telling you, he's making some money right now with me watching. I'm telling you. All the scouts here watching him. Everyone needs a cover corner.
Well, he had the huge stop on that 4th down play. And with 40 seconds left in the game,
that 4th and 1 versus ECU.
Yeah. He is really playing well here tonight. Okay, 2nd down. And again, a throw to the sideline. This time it's caught by the big tight end, Benji Gosnell. 3-year starter. Last couple of years, almost 50 receptions. Of course, his brother Steven was a wide receiver here the last 3 years.
Yes, another out of timeout. That's why you see them throwing a lot of out routes, right, trying to get the clock to stop. But he got tackled inbounds. That's why the clock is still moving here. But they're going to push the ball down the field and hopefully get out of here with the field goal.
Well, they got to convert here on 3rd down and 5. They need to get to the 41-yard line.
That won't help.
That will not help. False start.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down. Behind the clock, option of a 10-second runoff.
So yeah, there would have been a runoff, but NC State had the option to decline it, in which they did.
So rather than 3rd and 5, they take the penalty, move it to 3rd and 10. 55 seconds remain. And they hand it off, and this is going to be a 1st down and then some. All the way inside the 45-yard line goes Marcellus Hawkins, who already has a touchdown reception tonight. That's a gain of 25. Clock running to 45. Drone looking to the sidelines, trying to get the ball in action. 4-man rush, and he's going to take off, and he's got some room. Nope, going to throw it. And the catch is made, and stepping out of bounds is Spencer. But there's a flag down, and this is holding and coming back.
10-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
But this run here by Hawkins is painful for the NC State defense. I mean, there was nobody in the middle. He does a great job getting down the field. On 3rd and long, you run the ball and get the 1st down.
Boy, that takes away a huge play right there for Virginia Tech. Still plenty of time with 35 seconds left, and they have an outstanding kicker whose career long is 56 yards. And he's hit 4 field goals in his career of 50 or longer. Again, a 4-man rush. Jones almost lost his footing, and now wrapped up and down he goes. And we're pushing and shoving. That's how somebody gets a penalty right there. Loss of 11. And the clock's just going to run out. Virginia Tech's not even going to try another snap. Yep. Unless NC State is going to call a timeout. Yep. NC State calls timeout. Going to force him to run another play.
A little hold right there, but he lets him go.
Kean Sloan.
Yeah, Sloan's a guy who has been showing up on tape every single week. He's probably one of the most underrated guys in this defense who for sure will be able to play at the next level.
Transferred in from Utah State. Was an all-Mountain West performer a season ago. They like him a lot. In fact, they think so far this year he's been their best defensive player.
Yeah, he definitely has. He definitely has. He's been just all over the tape, and he's been very consistent. And right there, making key stops in a 2-minute situation for this defense is exact type of player he is.
He had to leave that Duke game with an injury, and everybody around here was wondering would he come back to play tonight. So he just gets a sack. All right, well, you know, now all of a sudden when NC State calls timeout, I mean, it might be second down and 31, but heck, they ripped off a 25-yard run a minute ago. And here's another big run, and again by Hawkins. He needed to get out of bounds. He doesn't do it. Boy, that was a killer decision there by Hawkins. He had time to get out of bounds and maybe give him a chance to run an out pattern before kicking a field goal. But that's a way to half a land.
He probably thought what he saw, he's going to be able to hit the home run and realize he can't get out there.
How about that? All right, well, hey, look, if you're Coach Montgomery, you got to feel mighty good about that half. You lead 13-7 on the road. It's back to CW Football Saturday Studio with Mike Gamm and Michael Bumpus right around the bend. A good one in Raleigh. You're watching CW Football Saturday presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. All right, 13-7. Look at these numbers, Will Blackman. You a little bit surprised?
Am I? Look at this right here. 0.9 yards rushing. That is outrageous, man. That is crazy. 19 yards total in the second quarter for NC State. Virginia Tech's defense is standing up strong today.
Yes, they are. Let's check in downstairs with the big fella, Wes Bryant.
Hey, guys, I talked to Coach Dave Doran coming out at half. He said it had nothing to do with his team overlooking this Virginia Tech squad. He said that they have to win up front, quit getting negative plays on offense. He said it's all about their offensive line versus their defensive line. You know Coach Doran is a trenches guy. He said that is what is failing them right now.
Winningest head coach in NC State history, 90 wins. He's had 7 seasons of 8 or more, 4 seasons of 9, been to 10 bowl games.
That's impressive because it's hard to keep a job these days in football, man.
You're not lying.
You look to the other side, they already made a change. Virginia Tech.
Yeah, it was not a long run for Brent Pry, that's for sure. So the Wolfpack will get the football to begin this second half. So let's check on C.J. Bailey. Remember now, the last time we saw him, I mean, solid numbers, 11 out of 12, but right before the half, he was sacked. And when he went down, he appeared to land funny on his left non-throwing shoulder. And he clearly was in a lot of pain. We'll see if that has any effect on his play here in the second stanza. All right, so here we go in the second half. Very quiet for Smothers. And a nice start here as he picks up 6 on first down.
Yeah, this is what you got to do on this drive. You instantly got to get Smothers going. He's your impact player. He's the best player on your team. Got to get him going right now.
Going to throw it. And short of the first down is Keenan Jackson. And that'll bring up third down and less than 2. This feels like, even, you know, we're a minute in now to the second half, but this feels like something NC State needs to pick up right now.
Yeah, just the energy alone in the stadium. Yeah. There's no juice right now for the Wolfpack. It's all Virginia Tech. So let's see if they can convert this third down. Keep this drive moving.
Well, they bring Smothers into the backfield to the left of Bailey on this third down and less than 2, and they're going to throw it on third down, and they complete it to their main man. Jolie, the tight end, he is a good one out of Brooklyn, Brewster, New York.
Yeah, this is what Jolie does. He's on top, right side of your screen, does a quick out, gets the first down. Got to get him going as well. He's a mismatch for most people who try to defend him.
So a good start to this second half for NC State. Sellout crowd here tonight at Carter Finley Stadium, where they've won 30 of their last 37. And over the middle and nearly intercepted. He had an eye on Jolie right around the 40-yard line. And Tyson Flowers nearly came away with the football.
Yeah, he looked like he hesitated and threw it just late enough for Flowers to come there and almost get the interception. If there's one thing I can say watching C.J. Bailey, he does have a hitch in his throw before he pats it. And sometimes that can delay his throw and allow the defender to break on the football.
2nd down and 10. Fires that one across the middle, and that is a catch. First catch of the night for Noah Rogers, a transfer from Ohio State. Gain of 17.
Yeah, there he just put his foot in the ground and fired. That's what you want to see from C.J. Bailey. You don't want to see him taking any extra hitches or any extra pass. Just get rid of the ball as fast as he can.
Back in the hands of Smothers. Good patience. Waited, and then just moves forward. A gain of 4 on 1st down.
It's so hard to keep track of Smothers when you're watching him, because he does a great job of hiding behind the line of scrimmage. And as I mentioned earlier, his jump cuts are so explosive. He can go to the A gap, to the B gap, all the way to the D gap if need be.
Catch made, and leaning forward, trying to get the 1st down is Keenan Jackson. He looks to be a yard short. Yep, it'll bring up another 3rd down and 1.
What's been impressive about this Virginia Tech defense is they've been tackling very well. You haven't seen many missed tackles. You go look at that Old Dominion game, and literally they could not tackle themselves. In this case, they're doing a good job of holding on and allowing their teammates to come and finish off.
Got to look there at Scott Cephas, their defensive coordinator, as Will Wilson comes into the game. Remember, they didn't use him earlier on a 3rd down and a yard, and they didn't get it. He's going to keep it, and he doesn't get it. Denied by Virginia Tech. And you can pretty much bet your bottom dollar they're going to go for it on 4th down, and Wilson's going to stay in the game. They need some momentum.
Yeah, the trenches, they do an awesome job just standing up, knowing this is what's going to happen. We talked to Coach Roper, and he's not a big fan of going Wildcat because it takes away the pass game. So that's why having Will Wilson in there allows you to do both. But now they're going back to C.J. Bailey.
Yeah, they're going back to Bailey. He was the one that was in on that 3rd down in the yard. No fault of his own. But he's big enough that he might just keep it himself. We'll see. Needs about a half yard. Yep, he'll keep it himself, and he'll get it. Well done.
Listen, when you're 6'6", you just got to fall forward.
Right.
This is what NC State needs. They need a sustainable drive. I mean, you're only down 6 points, so, you know, it's important here to just have a comfortable drive, run your offense, get back in the rhythm, and get points on the board.
All right, so a 1st down and 10 inside the 35-yard line. Duke Scott in the backfield, and Bailey's going to throw it. Protection starts to break down. The chase throws, and is that a catch on the sideline? I believe it is, and it is. And again, it's Joe Lee. Man, is he a player.
Look, spinning to your left, cross body, a dot to the sideline.
That is his 5th reception of the game. Look at the legs on that dude. It's a gain of 17. They're going to take a look at it. Looked like a catch from what we just saw, but you never know. Jolie is on the Mackey watch list. That's given to the nation's best tight end in remembrance of the great John Mackey. But Jolie played his first couple of years at UConn, now in his 2nd year at NC State. And man, is he a player. What a great throw.
The only thing is, does that shin hit the white line?
I think the right foot's already
he's good.
down. Yeah, he's good. That's a catch.
Yeah, he stopped himself, caught the ball. He's a pro.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. 1st down, NC State.
How about that, though? Rolling to his left, and C.J. Bailey throwing a dot to Jolie. I asked Coach Roper, like, are you going to get him going? He was like, in due time. Like, we have a set amount of plays in account on what we're going to do for him in every game. And right here, you see today already delivering the ball to Joey.
Yeah, he's got now 24 receptions on the year. And that's a nice pickup on first down by Smothers. So they're starting to get a little bit of movement in the ground game.
Yeah, attack the perimeter, giving everyone the football, trying to get the defense to think. And again, going back to being efficient. Let's not try to do anything extra. Let's get back to what we're doing well. Let's hit our receivers in the seams, get into our best players and Smothers and Jolie. So far, this has been an impressive drive.
So they're going to allow Virginia Tech to make defensive substitutions after NC State made substitutions. 12th play of this drive for the Wolfpack. Opening drive of the second half, trying to take the lead with a touchdown to the corner of the end zone. What a throw! And what a catch! Keenan Jackson with a touchdown. What a throw that was by C.J. Bailey.
Again, just a great delivery. You see the ISO Keenan on the strong safety and Flowers, and just a beautiful dime from C.J. Bailey over the shoulder for a touchdown.
Kanoa Vine set for the point after, and it is good. So what a drive to start this second half. Capped off by a great throw from Bailey. Wow.
Marco's is back with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each.
Is this thing on?
We said unlimited, fresh, melty, golden medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Now you're listening. Get this deal while you can at Marco's.
All right, NC State opening drive in the second half to take a 1-point lead next week on CW Football Saturday. We go to Blacksburg. The Demon Deacons taking on the Hokies. Wake Forest, Virginia Tech. 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. Only on the CW. One of the most beautiful places, parts of the United States of America.
Enter Sandman is such an experience.
Yeah, fantastic. Coming out of the end zone now is Tyler Mason. And he is chopped down at the 21-yard line. Closed captioning for today's game brought to you by Tableau TV. Pay once, watch forever. So Bailey on that opening drive goes 6 out of 7. Jackson, 3 catches in the game now, 20 yards and a touchdown. And here we go now as these quarterbacks, it's Drone's turn to try and answer.
Yeah, this has been a beautiful game. Both quarterbacks dealing. Drones hit 12 different receivers, which is just, 7 different receivers, which has been outstanding.
Drone's so dynamic, big, strong, able to move around. They're going to hand it to Terrion Stewart, who had a couple of big runs in the first half. Look at the bull. Look at the big fella. Just bulldozing people there. Love watching guys like that run the football.
That's why I said cover corner. Like, you got to bring it. You try to hit this guy right here. This is
your guy, Jamel.
Listen, so my coach will always tell me, sometimes. What do you mean? He goes, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But sometimes.
Well, they fake it and they come back the other way to Selden. And that'll be a decent pickup on first down.
It'll be good for this offense just to stay on rhythm. Don't panic. Don't worry about what NC State just did. Just continue to hit your receivers on the perimeter, run the football well. You've done a great job in the first half. Continue that right now.
Gain of 4 on the reception on fourth down. Here comes the blitz, and able to get it away in time. And the catch is made by Isaiah Spencer, but that is a really nice tackle made in the secondary by Brian Nelson II.
That is a great tackle.
Yeah.
If he misses that, that guy is out the gates.
He transferred in from North Texas, first team All-American Athletic Conference performer a year ago. He's got 3 years left here at NC State, including this year.
This is where I like to see Jones use his legs if it's available.
Well, they're showing blitz. The last time, they just movement along the line. The question is, did somebody on the defense cross over and make some contact first?
Ball start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's Montavious Cunningham.
But I give a lot of credit to this Wolfpack defense because they show so many exotic things on 3rd down. It's making everyone think, and also it's causing the offensive line to jump as well. They're doing a show on the outside, show in the middle. It's a good job showing these blitzes already.
So 3rd and a yard becomes 3rd and 6 after the penalty. Here comes the blitz. And able to get it away in time, and I don't think he got there. Catch made by Selden. He's very close, but he's short.
Again, great job just tackling, getting him down.
They're going for it. Here on 4th down. And it looks like he got it. Boy, that's a gutsy call right there by Philip Montgomery. From your own 41-yard line. Well, it depends on his spot if he got this or not. Sure looked like he did. Yep, it is a 1st down.
I love this move. Go quick. Right? Everyone's on the same page. You get the 1st down and it pays off.
Well, you had all those defensive backs on the field, you know, because it was 3rd down and 6, right?
Take advantage.
Yeah, and when you hurry up, they can't substitute. So here we go. 1st down. Drones cuts it loose. A long ball down the sideline. What a reception. Is it a catch? No. It looked like he had it momentarily. And that Snook Peterkin down there thought he had it.
He did have a step on him, just a little underthrown. Looked like an intentional back shoulder, but he still has to do a better job of trying to give Drone some room so he can fade him out of bounds.
Yeah, he caught the ball. He just came down out of bounds. Yeah, that's the stuff that amazes me.
Yeah.
You were one of those guys. You were a two-way player. I mean, just to have the athletic ability to catch that ball and flight.
And know your whereabouts to get a foot down. Yeah,
just
exactly.
Amazing. And there he is again. Terry on. That's my guy. He's out of the Mid-American Conference. I'm a MAC guy.
You big
I'm
MAC
rooting for those guys. Yeah. Ohio University guy.
I'm laughing because he comes around the corner and you see guys just maybe making business decisions. I'm not going to accuse anybody of doing that. But I'll tell you what, listen, if I'm on defense, what he did to my teammate last time, I'll be thinking about it too.
Right. He is a load now.
I wasn't afraid to hit anybody, but I knew some hits were going to hurt.
Transfer from Bowling Green, and he's getting the bulk of the carries here tonight. Defense right there. And that's the young man we talked about in the first half, Kean Sloan. That's a big-time play. Big hit on Heath. Loss of 3.
Talking about jumping out on tape. Sloan is that guy. That's how you make a statement in your own stadium right there. He's going to make an NFL roster and do a great job.
They're going to review this.
As in 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, targeting, I think, is what they're looking at here. Yeah. Well, how many times are we seeing this in a game now? You be the judge. Lowered the head. There's no two ways about that. You start with that.
By definition, that's the first thing you look for. Does he duck the helmet?
And do you think that's considered a defenseless player there? I mean, he had not started to even turn around yet.
Well, first thing you're doing in this situation, you're just going to look at the helmet when it comes to targeting.
Yeah.
And by rule, if you do drop your head like that, because it's not just about the offensive player, this is also about player safety for yourself.
Sure.
Like using the top of your helmet is dangerous,
yep.
you know, and you want to avoid the worst. So, you know, for those out there, it's not just about the other players, it's about yourself too. As a coach myself, when I see a teammate drop his helmet, or excuse me, not a teammate, a player, I go off on him. So I'm like, do you want to play this game longer than today?
Yeah.
So pick your head up, eyes to the sky, see what you hit.
Yep. Got to look at the command center back in Charlotte.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting. Second down.
He's fired up, isn't he, Sloan?
Yeah, I'm old school, so that was a clean tackle, but just by rule, you know, you never know how people are going to judge that tackle. It does help that it was to the body and not to the helmet as well.
All right, Stewart in the backfield. Got a second down and 13, under 5 minutes to go in his third quarter. A couple of lengthy drives. Only one drive for each team here in the second half. And there again is Kerryon Stewart, cars his way up to the 45-yard line. So this is third and long now for Virginia Tech. See if they bring the house again. They do. Drones rolling. Loses his footing and is dropped. That is Sebastian Harsh. It pulled him down. Transfer from Wyoming, having an outstanding year, and Virginia Tech will punt.
You can see Drones was trying to step up and launch the ball downfield. But then Sebastian grabbed his heart. Living up to the last name, Harsh. That was the Harsh celebration right there.
That's exactly right. Of course, he was thrown out of a game against Wake Forest this year. He had to miss the first half of the Duke game, but he is really having a good year, and that is into the end zone. I think that ball, yeah, it went into the end zone. All right, NC State with a lead and the football. We got a good one tonight here in Raleigh, NC. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. And by Kleenex. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex. Some of the greats in Virginia Tech history. Boy, how good was he? Oh.
Listen, I played against those early 2000 Frank Beamer teams. They had monsters.
All right, so NC State with the football.
This is the tackling I'm talking about. Do not let Smothers get off. Hold on, wrap up, gang tackling. That has been key for this Virginia Tech defense.
Loss of a yard on first down. Fake the handoff, and now Bailey just swarmed under a couple of Virginia Tech defenders. Ben Bell, they brought him in to do just that. He had 20 sacks before he arrived. A couple of stops at Louisiana Tech and Texas State before he came to Blacksburg.
Yeah, Ben Bell is somewhere Coach Dort mentioned. that he was interested in trying to get to NC State as well.
All right, let's see what Sam Siepkes dials up here. Defensive coordinator for the Hokies. They throw the wide receiver, Keenan Jackson. He'll be short of a first down, so this is going to be a 3-and-out for NC State. So Virginia Tech going to get the football back with less than a minute and a half to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, as Wes mentioned, Coach Durham was like, look, man, we gotta fight up front. We're struggling up front, and right now, as you saw in this drive, Virginia Tech whipping them up front and getting to the quarterback.
Isaiah Spencer is waiting on the Caden Noonkester punt, and he's had a good night punting the ball, and this is another good one. Probably should have come up to get that. You were a great punt returner in college and the NFL. You got to catch that one, don't you? Yes, you do?
Yes, you're
all
right. Got to feel that one.
But coming up this week on NXT, it's all about the next big thing. Ricky Saints. And he's taking his swagger and flair to the next level. New NXT, Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on the CW. All right, so Virginia Tech gets a stop defensively. They begin this drive all the way back on the 11-yard line. Remember last time he started back here, they went all the way down the field and scored a touchdown. And look out now. It is Stewart off to the races. One man to beat. He's inside the 30, the 20, the 10, and barrels his way inside the 5 before he is cut down. What a breakout night it has been for the former Bowling Green star, Terrion Stewart.
Look how he just gets through the gap, gets vertical instantly, and just breaks all of these tackles, gets north. This is what I love. I love that he switched the ball to the outside arm. It's such a lost art. What a run.
That is an 85-yard run, and on the next play, the pass. Is it a touchdown? It is. Cameron Seldon with a reception, dives into the end zone. We have an injured player.
Officials timeout on the field for injury.
I think it's J.J. Johnson down. But how about that? You get the ball twice tonight inside your 10-yard line or right around the 10, and you come away with both your touchdowns. Now a third.
Outside, you got 3-on-2. He likes the numbers, gets it to his receiver, Cameron, and just gets vertical.
But how about the run? There a moment ago by Terrion Stewart. Transfer grad from Bowling Green. There is a penalty flag, by the way, that is down on the far side of the field as they continue to tend to Johnson, who looks like, well, now he's starting to sit up. That's a good sign.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 8. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. That's his first foul towards disqualification.
And that's on Stewart.
Stewart's hyped, turned up. I don't know what he did, but...
And Johnson able to make his way off the field. Transfer from Georgia State. Started the first couple of games, got injured against Wake Forest.
This man here, Terrion Stewart, man. Every run, it looks like has been super impactful.
He is a load now. 9 carries for 150 yards for Terrion Stewart. 85 of them coming on that run. That is his 7th longest run in Virginia Tech history. The longest goes all the way back at 95. Well, that was a running place, 96 yards. Bob Weichert against Wake Forest in 1962. So with a penalty, this is a lengthy point after. It's a 35-yarder, and it is right down the middle. So this has really been a back-and-forth game.
It has been.
And let's send it back to the guys in the studio.
All right, Tom, we got a CW studio update. Alabama and Georgia, one of these significant games in the country. How about Ty Simpson just before halftime running it in? He's got 3 total touchdowns at the break, and it's a 10-point advantage for Alabama.
There's so many big games around college football today. Man, I can't remember a Saturday with as many, big-time games as we've had around the college football landscape today. And, man.
But they've just been competitive, too. That's the thing, too. Even if they weren't big, top-ranked type of games, they've been competitive down to the wire, upsets left and right, and just that's been the beauty of college football this season.
Yeah, I mean, those noon games today, you had a walk-off field goal by Illinois to beat USC. You have the overtime game between Georgia Tech beating Wake, who went for 2 after a touchdown in overtime, 30-29 the final there. So Georgia Tech in the ACC remains undefeated. Next weekend, it's Miami and Florida State. That won't have quite the drama. There's still plenty of drama. But after the loss last night, which, by the way, the conference just came out and handed out the University of Virginia a $50,000 fine, of course, for storming defeat. You knew that was coming.
Worth every penny for them.
Yes, indeed. Every nickel. All right, Sam Skivas, the defensive coordinator. Sam Skivas has called a good game here tonight. He's in his first year as a defensive coordinator. And Smothers still on his feet. That's a nice run. Turns out to be a 5-yard gain. And that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We got 15 minutes left of a really good game here in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Take a look at our Royal Caribbean game summary. Opening possession of the second half. NC State rolls right down the field. Great throw into the end zone. And a touchdown, but after the 85-yard scamper by Terrion Stewart, Virginia Tech cashes in with a touchdown. And here we go to begin the final quarter. We've had 4 lead changes in this game. 20-14. Virginia Tech in front. NC State with a football. A 2nd and 5 from its own 30. Quick slant. And the catch is made by Teddy Hoffman. And that'll move the chains for a first down.
Right now you see NC State a little tempo, walking up to the line, but not huddling, trying to keep Virginia Tech off balance defensively.
Previous play of the completed catch is under review.
They want to make sure that that was a completed ball. It was a low throw. Hoffman is a true freshman from Delray Beach, Florida. Did he hang on?
Ooh, you got some movement there.
Hard to tell. There was some movement in there.
But as you mentioned, NC State came out the half, went right down the field, but Virginia Tech had no problem answering the bell, offensively and defensively.
This is the best look. I mean, he appears to have control on his knees. You think he has control, then you're looking at the knee while you take your eyes off the ball, and then you look back to the ball, and it was moving around.
Right.
Is there enough to overturn it, Will?
Right. You want to see, did he keep his hand under the football as if it was moving?
Yeah, I'm not sure that he had full control over that football.
Yeah, usually if there's enough movement, it's a good chance. that it could be incomplete.
Well, the chains are starting to move backwards, so they've already posted a third down, so this is going to be overruled.
After review, the receiver bobbled the ball when he hit the ground. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It's third down.
Okay, so it'll be third down and 5 from the 30-yard line. That was a 2nd and 5. NC State trailing by 6.
A big third down. Look for Jolie here on the crossers to try to get that first down.
And they're going for the long ball, and it's incomplete. The flag comes in from the secondary. And there's another flag all the way back at the 40.
Pass interference, defense, number 25. The ball will be placed in spot of the foul. It's an automatic first down.
And they're saying an uncatchable ball.
Yeah, you see him pull the back of his jersey to slow him down.
That's the reason it was uncatchable.
That's exactly why.
Can't move. All right. Automatic first down at the 40-yard line, and here is Smothers, who's had a very quiet game. Virginia Tech on defense has done an excellent job.
But this is what you want Smothers to do. You want him to bounce around and continue to find different areas to run. You don't want to give him a seam to run up the field, make him change directions, make him break multiple tackles if he can, and wrap him up.
NC State only has 36 rushing yards in this game tonight. The Wolfpack averages 174 per game, and that's incomplete. So the first-year defensive coordinator, Sam Seifkes, has done a nice job here tonight. He came to Virginia Tech after 2 years as a linebackers coach in the NFL with the Arizona Cardinals, after 2 years with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, he preached just playing fast. He kept the menu simple. Just play fast, give effort.
Native of La Crosse, Wisconsin. All right, third down for the Wolfpack. Can they convert? They need to get to the 50. And big hit. But it is a first down. How about Wesley Grimes? And that's Christian Ellis delivering the blow.
That's a grown man catch right there. You know you're going to get blasted, and you hold on to the football knowing your team needs it.
Wow. That's the way Will Blackman used to do it back there.
I would say that was the toughest part about when I switched to offense is you don't realize you got to make contested catches. Like, you're going to get hit. They're going to be on your back. That's the most underrated part about being a receiver.
And back to the ground. Duke Scott checks in. He had a decent run or two, but I mean, you're talking closing in on 30 rushing attempts. Now, again, it includes all the sacks of the quarterback. 5 of those in the game. So that's why it looks like their rushing yards tonight is so bad. He has 57, averages 125. But when you add in the quarterback sacks, now you're talking about rushing yards in the 30s. And again, that's a college game. Catch is made inside the 15-yard line. Terrell Anderson. And that is a first down for the Wolfpack.
I love C.J. Bailey's patience. Trusting the protection, scanning, and then finding his receiver across the middle, getting him the football right before he gets hit. He's able to clear that linebacker and get the first down. is C.J. Bailey right there. 24 touchdowns scored in the red zone. No turnovers. That's key.
That is so key. I mean, that's a keeper there by Bailey, still on his feet. He's able to lunge forward with that 6'6" frame and get to the 5-yard line.
I love that call. Just quickly try to get some yards, right? You haven't really ran the football with your quarterback at all this game. Let's show him something a little different. Quick 5 yards.
And they can get a first down at the 1-yard line. So 2nd down and 5 from the 6. Darius Johnson checks in the backfield.
Big Will Wilson's back there.
Yep, and he bounces off the tackle, headed towards the corner. And did he get into the end zone? I think he was knocked out of bounds before he got there, but does he have enough for a first down? I think they're spotting this in the 2. Or is it a first at the 1? It is a first down and goal. That guy's a load now.
He's in the game for one reason, and one reason only.
Told you earlier, if you weren't with us, Mr. Football in the state of South Carolina. This time a year ago, he was playing high school football in Columbia, South Carolina. He goes 6'1", 230-pounder. And he'll take it out of the shotgun. A timeout is called by NC State.
Timeout, North Carolina State. Their first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
Let's bounce around the ACC. We told you about the wild one last night. Many of you saw it. Chandler Morris, 5 total touchdowns. And then earlier today, I mean, you hate to say it, but Wake Forest deserved to win that game today. They got jobbed on a call big time late.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough loss for the Deeks, man, and I don't want to hear any moral victories. They should have gotten that one. They had them dead to rights. Man, that was a tough one to stomach today for my Demon Deacons.
Yeah, it was. And then how about Syracuse, after just drilling Clemson, comes back home and gets lit up?
Yeah, unfortunately, they lose their quarterback prior, and so that was, but still. C.J. Bailey back in the game.
Yep. Trying to get to the end zone is Scott. Did he get in? No signal given yet. Touchdown, NC State.
Fire the cannons anyway. This has a touchdown.
Scott's another guy. You better bring your lunch pail if you're going to tackle him now. He goes 5'10", 215.
Saying those short, compact running backs, those are a beast to tackle.
So if this point after is good, it'll be our 5th lead change of the game. My goodness, what a game we've had tonight here in Raleigh. And they're going to review it to make sure he got in. I mean, it was right there. But they just want to make sure, and I don't blame them. Yeah, it looks like he definitely. Well, you know, when I say that, but where's his knee? I mean, before he crosses the plane, and he got tied up a little bit there. Does his knee come down before the ball gets there?
Yeah, there's no way they can see it there. That's a touchdown.
Yeah, it appears to be.
Like you said, they just got to make sure.
Well, if nothing else, it just appears that there's not enough evidence to overturn the call on the field.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It's a touchdown.
Yeah. So it is a touchdown for Duke Scott. And now a point after away from NC State taking the lead, but we got a long night ahead. We're just under 11 minutes. And Scott, his first career touchdown as a redshirt freshman. He was on that freak list, you know, they put out every year.
Yes.
I mean, the dude's a redshirt freshman. Squats 550 pounds, runs a 4.340, and has a power clean of 375. That's Will Blackman and Wes Bryant stuff there. We got a good game tonight here at Carter Finley Stadium. Stick around. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. And by Royal Caribbean. Come seek. They've had some great ones on the defensive side of the ball. How good was that guy at NC State?
Listen, I had to see him on the same team. Manny Lawson, Stephen Tulloch, Marcus Hudson on the same defense.
That's a pretty good group there. All right, Virginia Tech going to get the football. And Mason still on his feet. That's a good return up to the 35-yard line. 27 yards bringing that one. And good field position for Kyron Drones. 17 of 30, 151 yards, couple of touchdowns. 5 lead changes in this game, Will. It's been a good game.
It's been an incredible game. And only 57 completion percentage, I wouldn't get so caught up on that because he's just been effective. He's been making the right plays at the right time. And a couple times just had to drive the entire field, and they were able to do that. Now, a lot of credit to the running game, but also he's been using his legs as well to help be effective for his offense.
Of course, NC State has already played a couple of games inside the conference. This is a conference opener for Virginia Tech. Started the year with 3 losses. Head coach fired. Phillip Montgomery took over last week in a rout of Wofford. And here is Stewart, who had an 85-yard run, the 7th longest in Virginia Tech football history on the last drive. Only picks up a couple of yards there on first down.
But that is the luxury of having Phil Montgomery as your interim head coach, because he has a ton of head coach experience. Yep. And so he mentioned that he's going to bring a little bit of what he's brought prior when he was the head coach, and also not to change what they've built already. So, I mean, they landed in a good spot to have him as the interim coach.
I mean, he was there from 2015 to 2022 as the head coach at Tulsa. Here's Stewart again, just bouncing off and spinning off would-be tacklers. And he's all the way up to midfield. It is a monster game for the young man from Memphis, Tennessee. And there's an injured Wolfpack down on the field. I'll have to tell the number from where we are sitting. I think it's Sean Brown. Yep, it is. Leader of this defense, 2-time captain. Let's take a look at our progressive player of the game. A little early, but I mean, how good has this guy been who just carried the ball? Carry on Stewart.
Listen, 11 carries for 165. 15 yards per carry. He's been just a dynamite with his offense. The spark plug they needed.
Yeah.
In the run game.
And player of the game sponsored by Progressive. Get your coverage you can count on with home and auto at progressive.com. Still working on Sean Brown down there. Grad student out of Charlotte, 2-time captain. Moved from safety to linebacker a season ago. And became an all-conference performer. But there is no weight being put on that left leg. We hope he is going to be all right.
Yeah, he's another player that was added to the Bruce Feldman's freak list.
Yep.
Running 4.4.
See if we can see. Keep an eye on the left leg. Yeah, he just got hit.
Friendly fire there.
Yeah. Man. Hope it's nothing serious. I think a lot of times we forget, you know, you're talking about 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You'll have a couple of guys that have 6th year, you know, they got the COVID year, 23, 24, but These are such young men who have a lot going on. School. Yeah, some of them are making money. Some of them are making a lot of money.
But that's also added.
They got a lot.
That's also added what's going on.
Sure. Absolutely. Bakorian Hodge takes over for him at the linebacker spot. Virginia Tech on the move. Looking down the sideline, and it is through the hands of Aiden Green. Got to go back and look at that.
Yeah, that was just dropped.
Oh, yeah, straight drop. I mean, that ball is right on the number.
Absolute dime. That one was just dropped. That would have been a great, just an exclamation point on what this offense is currently doing. Safeties are up. I go right back to him.
Marcellus Hawkins checks in the game, and the quarterback keeper by Drones, and he'll pick up 3. It'll bring up a 3rd down for Virginia Tech. Winding down to 9.5 to go in the game, and NC State with a 1-point lead.
You got the music playing. You got the towels flicking around. You already know 3rd down. This is where NC State brings the pressure.
It's a great crowd, another sellout crowd. They're selling out every game this season, and will for the remainder of the year here at Carter Finley Stadium. 3rd down and 8. Here they come again. And Drones rolling, just throws, and it is caught. Can you believe it? The defender tried to jump it, and it floats over the head into the arms of Benji Gosnell for a 14-yard gain and a 1st down.
Officials timeout for injury.
And another injury on the field. What a play that was.
My goodness gracious.
Now this was Kean Sloan. We told you he was injured in the Duke game. Had 5 tackles, an interception. They're going to take a look at him. And again, looking in the lower leg area.
NC State is in yet another one-score game. They've played the 5th highest amount of one-score games in the FBS since 2020. Dave Dorn is 32-22 in those games, and they have won 2 of their 3 games this season by 1 score. So he says he puts them in situations all the time where they can handle situations like this. So we'll see if they'll come out on top.
Wes, were you lean with it, rock with it down there? I know you were.
Oh, yeah, man. Old school, baby. You already know. Early 2000s.
There's the carry by. Hey, look, don't bring up one-score games to the Virginia Tech faithful. They have lost 12 of their last 13 games that are one-score games. They went 0-5 in one-score games a season ago. Where in one-score games, you just heard the numbers. Coach Dorn at NC State found a way to get it done. Does Virginia Tech turn that around tonight? Nowhere to go for the man who's been running loose all night long.
Got to corral him, gang tackle, get him down.
Price the first one to meet him. That's all in theory. Now it's got to be executed. Christian Epling, the snap
effect until 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time this evening for a small portion of far east central Los Angeles County. At 6:54 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, while showers and thunderstorms temporarily lessened in the warned area, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain that will move back into the warned area. Between 1 and 2 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 0.5 to 1 inch are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard, life-threatening flash flooding, rock slides and mudslides, as well as debris.
All right, 6th lead change. We have not had a turnover, by the way, in this game tonight, so it's been pretty clean.
Yeah, it's been clean in terms of what we're going to offensively. Again, the quarterback duel going on here. Both quarterbacks making plays, take care of the football, but it's been the run game of Virginia Tech with Stewart. Yep. He's been just incredible.
That ball blasted through the back of the end zone, so here we go. Let's check in before NC State snaps it away with the guys back in our studio. Yammer.
Hey, Tom, I got a CW studio update. 6th-ranked Oregon in the middle of a whiteout against Penn State. Here it is, Dante Moore, De'Aaron Hill with the touchdown. The play before this, there was a fumble by Oregon. That got overturned and led to this score. Both teams earning every single yard. Ducks on top.
That is a defensive battle. And that is another game where Penn State is behind against a top 10 team. First down carry for Hollywood Smothers, and that's enough for a first down, a run of 10 yards to begin this drive.
Got 6 minutes left in this game. NC State with the football. If they can just chop down the clock with the run game, that would be ideal. Go into your 4-minute offense right now. You're down 2. Just need a field goal.
Yeah, but that's something they've been unable to do for most of the night, and that is run it well, and that has been a forte of this team all year long. They come back the other way, and the football is loose, and it's still loose, and it's still loose. It looked like about 7 guys had a chance to cover up that ball, 5 of them in white jerseys, and it looks like NC State has Teague Robinson, their right tackle, come down on top of it.
Thank goodness for Teague, because that ball was in the air. Oh, man, that is... I almost lost my breath when I saw the football go in the air. Somebody got to get it.
All of those white jerseys.
I used to watch those football follies growing up. I'm like, no way. That's not really how it is.
It is. Second down and incomplete.
Yeah, this secondary is turned up right now. Making plays on the perimeter. PBUs, tackling.
Christian Ellis has been all over the field tonight. Young man from Jacksonville, Florida, transferred in from New Mexico. Played 3 years there, 2-year starter. 3rd down and forever. They need to get to the 45-yard line to keep this drive alive. Bailey stepping in the pocket, lays it off for Hollywood, and just nowhere to go. Tell you what, this Virginia Tech defense, they caught a break on that fumble, and the ball going backwards to put them in a big-time hole. But their defensive coordinator, Sam Siefkas, has to feel mighty good about coming up with a stop there.
Yeah, at the half, West used the word inspired, and that's exactly how this defense has been playing all over.
Isaiah Spencer waiting on the punt. This is returnable if he comes to get it. He lets it bounce a couple of times, and he'll step out of bounds right around the 20. His Virginia Tech defense, I mean, NC State has rushed 32 times for 59 yards.
I mean, they've been causing havoc up front, rushing forward, getting to C.J. Bailey. And, I mean, I don't want to be corny, but they've been smothered all over the place. Couldn't get anywhere. And then also in the secondary, they've been doing a great job limiting the explosive plays. This defense has been playing physical and violent. and also smart. They've been doing their job, and that's all you can ask for as a defensive coordinator.
All right, so Will, take me inside the huddle or take me along the sideline now. You know, you hear all the time about the 4-minute drill, right? We hear a lot about the 2-minute drill, but the 4-minute drill is when you're trying to put a game away.
Yeah, you don't want to give the football back. You want to protect the football. And even though it's been Stewart, you still got Marcellus Hawkins, also the other running back. So it's going to be running back by committee in this situation. Also, you have Drones using his legs as well. So run the football, get the first down, also protect the football.
They're going to give it to the bowling ball that has been Terrion Stewart. And he pushes forward across the 20 up to the, we'll see if it's a 22 or the 23-yard line on first down.
Yeah, and also take your time getting back to the huddle. No rush. If you're laying on the ground, ask the teammate to help you up. Don't get up on your own. All those little tactics to have the clock keep going.
That was a gain of 3, so 2nd down and 7. We are down to 3:45 to go. Virginia Tech with a 2-point lead. They'll give it to Stewart again. And he navigates his way up to the 25-yard line, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for Virginia Tech. Well, you pick up a first down here, and now you're talking about another couple of minutes potentially off the clock.
Yeah, defensively, you do want to be able to hold them up and try to get the ball out, but you have to be very careful with a running back like Stewart, because if one person tries to hold him up, he's going to break that tackle, as he's shown throughout the entire game.
Would you throw it here, 3rd down and 4?
I would take a chance. I would throw it, but the run game's been going well.
Yep, has been going well. And they're going to roll out. That is a great call right there. I mean, it doesn't get any safer than that. You make the throw to J. Rikus Hairston for a first down.
But I love this kind of throw, a sprint out to the sideline where Drones does have the option. If it's there, he can run up the field, but then you got the receiver right there wide open, your tight end.
That is only his 4th catch of the year. He got more snaps than he's seen all year long. In the game against Wofford, they think he has a bright future. So this will be the final play. You would assume they're going to run it. Probably should never assume that. But the final play before they're going to run it. And again, it's Stewart for a couple of yards. This will take us to the 2-minute timeout. Stay tuned for the final 2 minutes of the game, presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. We got a good one here in Raleigh. As we head into the final 2 minutes of tonight's game, our snapback replay presented by the Active Cash Credit Card from Wells Fargo. How about this for the lead?
Right in there. I love how you took it out to break. You're like,
Brought to you by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Be a 2%er. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. All right, here we go. 2nd down and 8. And maybe for 2 more, brings up another 3rd down. The clock continuing. Nope. It's going to be a timeout for NC State.
Yeah, Virginia Tech, they're in their 12 personnel. They're in a 12 personnel formation, which is 2 tight ends. And for them, it's 90% run. And so the pass game has been limited. So I expect they're going to make great use of this timeout here and try to find something creative out of this personnel here.
I mean, you look at this Virginia Tech team. 2 weeks ago, they had been humiliated. Just completely humiliated at home by Old Dominion.
I'll be honest, that was a tough game to watch and to review. They looked like they just laid down and gave up. It really did.
And it ultimately led to the firing of Brent Pry, the head coach. So Philip Montgomery takes over. And look, they played Wofford last week. So you needed it. You needed your first win. And they piled up the yards, and they got the victory. Everybody felt a lot better. But now you're coming into NC State, which has won 30 of its last 37 in this building.
So they're out in 11 personnel, Tommy.
Jordan's going to throw it. And he is going to keep it himself. He looked, he cuts it back up, and very close. I think he's maybe a foot short. He turned his back to the sideline and tucked the ball in, trying to take care of it. This spot is really going to be interesting. I think he's short. And if he's short, it's short by a foot, and there's no way you're going.
Timeout, NC State. Their final timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
I mean, there is no way you're going for it here.
We've seen crazy things.
We have. You're right. I shouldn't say that. But, I mean, look, they've got a minute 42. They are out of timeouts. If you give them the ball at the 40-yard line, should you not be able to get a fourth down in a yard? I mean, you're basically handing the game, at least to a field goal try for NC State.
Yeah, you probably come out in a situation here where perhaps you do a lot of motioning shifts, try to get a dummy count, hopefully get them to jump off sides and steal one. That's a strong possibility. Or just take the delay of game. Yeah, this one, you got to punt this out.
I think you're spot on there, Will. I think we'll see the drones come out and see if they can't. Or is he? Well, they've got drones out there. They've got Stewart out there. I mean, would they dare snap the ball here on fourth down and a foot? No, not going to do it. And they're going to go ahead and call a timeout.
Timeout. Virginia Tech.
You hit the nail on the head right there. Well, you know, why not try?
Why, that's right. You don't know how disciplined the other person is on the other side. You never know. So go ahead and try it.
All right, so they're going to go ahead and punt it. And NC State will get the ball with one more chance.
All right, you got a minute 42 here for State. I'm taking shots down the field. I'm just keeping it simple. Just go ahead and try to get to the 50-yard line as quick as possible and then run your normal offense to hopefully kick this for the win.
Well, remember now, you're out of timeouts. And we talked with Coach Doran yesterday, and he talks about how 3 days a week they have situational days. Whether it's, we're down by 4, we got to have a touchdown, we got a minute 20 left, and no timeouts. We're down by 2, we're out of timeouts, and we got to get a field goal unit on the field. They do that 3 days a week. And he thinks that's a big reason why they've been so good in one-score games. Now, look, Philip Montgomery had nothing to do with all the one-score losses for Virginia Tech. Good snap to the punter. And a fair catch called for. I'm sure Virginia Tech wanted a little bit more out of that punt. It is fielded at the 18-yard line, so here comes C.J. Bailey.
Listen, NC State almost got caught with 12 men on the field, and that would have been absolutely awful. But here we go, C.J. Bailey. What you got? This is the time where you stand up, and can you lead your team to victory?
Bailey has hit on 22 of 27, 214 yards, a couple of touchdowns. That's an 81% completion percentage. But can he lead them down the field and try and win this game? Without a timeout, they dump it off, and that's staying in bounds, and that's not going to help things to Hollywood.
Yeah, you got to catch that one and just keep running to the sideline. Now we got to play smart football.
Or drop it. I mean, I don't know how many guys have the reactions to do that because you've been taught otherwise. This one fired down the middle of the field, just off the fingertips of Keenan Jackson. My, oh my, not by much.
Well, there's your drop. That stops the clock right there, but this right here.
But look at all those white shirts. I mean, defensive coordinator, if they hang on, Sam Seifkus might be the most valuable player here. They have 9 tackles for loss, 5 sacks. They've held NC State to just 275 total yards in the game. 3rd down. And punt for a first down in the middle of the field. Trying to get to the sideline, and a good open field tackle is made by Thomas Williams on Terrell Anderson. Gain of 17. Clock still rolling.
I love the awareness. Immediately tried to work himself to get a bounce. He had a long way to go.
Here's another catch. This one by the tight end Jolie. Short gain. And he steps out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Only a 2-yard gain, but it stops the clock.
Even when they catch the ball near the sideline, it's very important that the receiver gets upfield. They get knocked back. The clock can keep running in that case.
If you're wondering about the kicker, Kanoa Vineset, as that one is too high, incomplete. His long this season is 38, but his career long is 52. There is a penalty flag down on the play. Or is there? No, I guess they picked it up. Yeah, official bent over, picked it up. Might have just fallen out. All right, so 23-21. 4-man rush. Able to dive out of bounds is Jackson. And that is at the 45-yard line. They're still alive with 46 seconds left.
This is great. Just working the sidelines, finding ways to get there. It's just something Virginia Tech knows. They have to try to protect the sign as well, but also the seams are...
There's a 4th down and a yard
And the completed catch. Correction. The line to gain is being reviewed.
We're going to check out exactly where he stepped out of bounds. I mean, the reaction by Jackson was he was upset. Either upset at where they marked it or upset at where he stepped out of bounds, being run out of bounds, really. He's holding the ball out.
It does move at the end, but, I mean, still the review, essentially, this is NC State's favor. You get a chance to regroup, talk about some things, guys get a rest.
Yep.
I mean, this is to me, this is a catch.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. This is a spot of the ball. This is not determining whether he caught the ball.
After review, the runner was short of the line to gain.
Yeah.
It's 4th down.
That's what they were looking at. It had nothing to do with a catch. It had to do with, did he stretch out to get the first down, and he did not. There you go. He's going to try and stretch it.
I mean, if that was in the goal line, that'd probably be a touchdown.
It might be. Okay, here we go.
Let's go. This is it.
This is it for NC State. You can keep the drive alive. If you don't convert, game over. You're out of timeouts. And they're going to throw it. And it's batted down, incomplete. And there again is the name Christian Ellis. He has been all over the field tonight. And they went to their money man, Jolie. And Ellis able to bat it away.
This is what you do defensively. You play the percentages. Routes are their favorite routes, and their top guy in that situation is Jolie. And I'll tell you what, Christian Ellis, he played football today.
I'll tell you, Virginia Tech played football tonight. This defense.
Yeah, they came ready to rock. That is just absolutely textbook defense.
I had felt badly earlier in the game. I called him Scott. And I feel terrible about it, but Sam Seifkus, the defensive coordinator, what a game he has had. Ellis has broken up 3 passes tonight. And it's a different looking Virginia Tech team than played the first game, 3 games of the year.
Yeah, they talked about they had a players type of meeting where guys spoke up and called each other out. If you want to be here, be here. If you don't, get out. They called everybody out, and the guys stayed.
What a win for North Carolina, for Virginia Tech here tonight. Started the year 0-3. They fired their coach. Look at Philip Montgomery, and we're going to see them next week in Blacksburg. I mean, what a huge win for the Hokies to begin conference play, and what a disappointing now back-to-back losses for Coach Dorn and the NC State Wolfpack. And of course, they were playing with such heavy hearts tonight after the news earlier about their defensive coordinator, DJ Elliott, his wife losing their 18-year-old daughter, Drew, to cancer. So, I mean, this was a tough day around here in Raleigh.
Yeah, it was a tough day, but going back to a Virginia Tech, coming in here, getting it done, starting off conference play.
Well, for Will Blackman, Wes Bryant, our entire crew, Tom Brenneman saying thanks so much for watching. We invite you to tune in next week, a full Saturday of CW Sports. We'll have these Hokies in beautiful Blacksburg, Virginia, hosting Wake Forest. We thank our entire crew tonight. We thank you for watching. 23-21, Virginia Tech winners tonight.
Next week, the action heats up on CW Sports Saturday with an ACC battle when Wake Forest takes on Virginia